Hello, Year 11. Right, I'm just going to talk through the preparation for the writing controlled assessment for your English course, your single English course. This is just in case you've missed it or you need to catch up. Right, what we have done, our learning intention was to, first of all, the first lesson was to understand the content of the controlled assessment, and the next one that we're going to do, and looking at planning, understand and apply strategies for planning. Right, the two that we're going to do is this one and this one, or you can have the option of doing this if you prefer. But most of us are doing write about a person who's important to you. Now, I've actually changed the title slightly. You're allowed to tweak the titles, and I've changed it to this. Choose a significant person in your life, describe them, and explain why they're important to you. And I've done that, so it just gives you a little bit more structure. And we've done lots about writing to describe and write to explain in preparation for your exam. So the important thing to note is if you've done the exam, you can do this. You know these skills already. So we were only going to have a couple of, actually we had 2 lessons preparation and a homework. You've got up to 2 hours writing time, and you can type it or handwrite it, but if you type it, your spell check must be turned off. Now in the lesson, we first of all did some rally-robin about who you might choose, trying to come up with someone a bit less obvious than just doing it about your mum. Loads of people do it about close relatives. It's fine, you can do that and do it really well, but we thought first of all about some other options. So rally robin, people who are important to you, we just kind of shared ideas with our partner there. We then looked at this example of quite a weak controlled assessment because it's a bit sort of dull. I'm not going to do this in too much detail, but very quickly. Right, the person who's important to me is my mum. It's a very obvious start, isn't it? There's not much going on there. It's just kind of quite dull, I suppose. But the really important thing about this was, look, she's always cared for me a lot. She cooks great food. She does my washing and ironing. Once she drove me all the way to London. There's no structure here. It's just a kind of a list of good things about your mum. What you need is a paragraph on that. A paragraph on that where you really develop it. Like you could talk about all this food and the delicious food that she makes you and memorable meals that your mum's made or whatever, if you are going to write about your mum. And then a description of this time she drove you all the way to London, and that turns into a developed, detailed description, because basically this person is quickly going to run out of things to say, no matter how nice their mum is. Right, we looked at a better example. A good idea actually to pause this now and look at why is this a better example, what's better about it. In class we annotated it and picked out the writing techniques that they've used, but to summarise, good things about it are the fact that it holds back key information in the paragraph till the end. It doesn't tell us who it is till the end. It's Homer Simpson, but that kind of hooks us in, doesn't it? Varied sentences, writing techniques such as the rule of 3, lots of questions and short sentences around. I mean, loads going on there, but in particular, variety of sentence structures and use of language techniques are very strong. Right, so once we'd done that, that was our success criteria for this task. So we're looking to explain them in increasing detail, how it engages the reader. Interesting that this question here is the same skill as in your exam, isn't it? How has the writer used language to make this more engaging? Okay, what we then did, I'll actually go to a second screencast to talk to you about the pre-controlled assessment planning lesson. So by this stage, at the end of this first lesson, you should have thought about who you might write about and come to a kind of creative decision there, trying to think about something unusual. Somebody said they were going to write about the police. People have written about people that are important to their kind of ethnic heritage and things like that. People have written about sports people who are important to them. I guess the real key is you're not writing a biography like in year 8. You're writing about why they're important to you. So it needs to be quite a personal piece of writing. However, you don't need to tell the truth. I'd also say that if you want to say you've met, I don't know, Justin Bieber or whatever, and it was some amazing experience, then you can put that in, even if that's not entirely true. Right, I'm going to stop this now and go to the next film.